Stray, otherwise known as the cat game, is a meticulously crafted experience that has you navigate your way through a beautiful and eerie dystopian future that had me full of intrigue. Being a rather short game, the goal is rather simple, but as the saying goes, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Keeping it light on story, you start out as our cat protagonist, who ends up separated from your family while finding yourself lost in an unfamiliar and unsettling city. Naturally, you start out with the singular goal of getting back to your family while having to navigate your way through this mysterious environment. Part of the mystery here is learning about what has become of humans with this unfamiliar world inhabited by robots and Zurks. The robots that are here could easily be mistaken for their human counterparts with their displays of emotions like dejection, compassion, depression, escapism, with some creative expression as well. This world you visit is seemingly consumed by the threat of imposing doom that has residents just trying to get by. As the stray cat, you end up helping many others along the way through a variety of tasks that contribute towards your goal. Also inhabiting this bleak environment are the aforementioned Zurks, an organic parasitic predator. Some of the biggest moments of satisfaction occurred when uncovering clues about your surroundings, even if not directly linked to the task at hand. The plot will take you through varied settings, each of which showing off the class and social divides among this civilization. Along the journey, you meet B12, a small drone companion who helps provide more context to the setting you are visiting, an unusual yet effective pairing for sure. Outside of meowing, you are more or less playing as a silent protagonist surrounded by a wide cast of characters. Without getting into spoilers, I mostly enjoyed the ending, but found the last act to be the weakest of the three due to some choices in writing feeling a little cliche, yet it still managed to pull on my heartstrings a little bit, but as a whole, I feel Stray takes you on a rewarding and fun journey. From a gameplay perspective, the idea of playing an entire game as a cat may have you curious to what that entails exactly. But once you get behind the controller, it all makes sense. All you really have to do is ask yourself, what would a cat do? As the furry protagonist, you walk down alleys, zoom across rooftops, balance on high surfaces, parkour across buildings, scratch sofas, drink potentially contaminated water, and find plenty of strange places to take naps. The only feature I could really think of that is missing is maybe some aggressive hairballs. More specifically, the gameplay loop consists of platforming, exploring, puzzles, and interacting with objects and characters in your environment. As a cat, Stray lends itself nicely as a 3D platformer, which is somewhat utilized through these urban jungles. You are never in any real danger of falling, with each jump acting more as an interactive point-and-click puzzle. This decision to remove platforming danger puts Stray in a more of a chill and explore category over, say, an action platformer. That isn't to say there weren't moments of risk and uncertainty, but those moments are used sparingly. With an array of activities at play, everything is tied together by the mostly smooth and agile movement. Whether you're going for a stroll or having the zoomies, it feels great to be a cat, with just the right amount of momentum propelling you forward and through angles. In my opinion, Stray won't blow you away in any specific gameplay elements outside of maybe the cute factor, but I found myself impressed by this title's use of variety. Specifically, you never spend too much time doing one thing. One moment you'll be out maneuvering Zurks, then platforming along roofs, then maybe looking around and talking to NPCs for environmental clues, followed up with maybe some simple stealth sections. Adding to this is the game's short runtime of around 4 or 5 hours, depending on how much you choose to indulge in each location. This shorter length helped keep the experience focused while also leaving me wanting more. I feel like on a very general level, when people talk about game visuals, they're always referring to the visual fidelity or frame rate, which are both important aspects of gaming, especially frame rate. But beyond the question of is the game photorealistic or not, Stray is a great demonstration of art direction representing its story and mood. Stray has a strong and deliberate color palette with its many uses of strong oranges and reds contrasting with the more subtle greens and blues. This beautiful color palette especially pops out in the almost entirely night setting. Definitely a great game to play on a new TV. The deliberate use of colors here mixes well with character animations and the city layout, giving life to the city overall. The soundtrack is masterfully implemented to capture the melodic mood of both the settings as well as plot points. Something that isn't always brought up, but also important that shines here is the sound effects. With no recorded dialogue present, you all the more notice the soundscape around you. Stray wonderfully sets the mood and tempo of your adventure with its purposeful mix of visual art, music, and sound effects. On a grander level, Stray expertly consumes you just into its world as a whole. While I was wanting to push the story forward, I couldn't help but get distracted by my environment. The mix of locales visited throughout the journey had me wanting to explore every inch. The AI isn't very sophisticated and varied with its task, but they are all given backstories and names. I never noticed a copy and pasted character. Everyone feels placed with purpose, as if they have their own experiences and histories leading up to this moment. From the perspective of a cat, I would frequently people watch, often mesmerized by the fluid animations. The robots here move with human-like soul. Let's just take a moment to appreciate this. It's moments like these that add to the atmosphere of each location. Maybe a little too close to home for some, these robot residents are consumed by the stress and oppression of their daily lives, with both freedom and danger just around the corner. You feel a sense in these communities there's a constant struggle to find purpose and happiness with the given cards that have been dealt up to this point. During the 4 to 6 hour runtime of this game, I never got tired of being present in this world. It has a very dirty, old, grimy kind of charm to it, as if everything is just reused old stuff. I got a lot of Cowboy Bebop vibes while I was playing, with both worlds being very dysfunctional yet charming futures built upon old junk. Everything you see feels that it was preceded by something else. To put it simply, Stray is a great game that managed to capture my imagination and intrigue during its short but sweet runtime. I found myself more than invested with these locations and characters. The visuals and audio unify with each location to submerge you into this familiar yet foreign world. No one area of gameplay stood out to me as perfect, but with a steady balance of variety, I found myself having fun at just about every turn the journey took me. I think Stray is for sure worth checking out if you're interested, and if you're on the fence, I'd still recommend it, just maybe look out for a sale. If you've had a chance to play Stray, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time, see ya!